Hello, Anthem Church. We are Matt and Kristen Larson. Great to be with you guys. A little bit about this video. This is a follow-up or a companion to the family meeting that we had just a week and a half ago or so, I guess, our time. We wanted to take some time and kind of explore some of the things that we felt like maybe we didn't get a chance to get to at the family meeting.
Specifically, those last 5 things, we gave a brief description in the write-up of each one, but the things that we're just dreaming into for this next coming year as we continue to seek to be those people that we feel like God has called us to be, dependent and devoted and stirring and sent.
With each of those words, I guess as we've gone into this, we want them to mean something. And so for us as a leadership team, we just start thinking about, if the Lord's given us these words, what does it look like for us to lead into each of those spaces? And so the things that we do, we want them to reflect in some way the words that we feel like God's given us for this season. So that's a bit about these things. We want to walk through some of the big opportunities in 2024, why we think they're important for, I would say, us as a church to go through together, and how we think they can be beneficial to you and your families.
The first one, calendar-wise, coming up is Easter. And it's always a big moment for us as the church, I think probably worldwide, as we're celebrating the central thing of our faith and also inviting the community in to join us in understanding what this faith is all about. So coming up, we actually have a whole almost month-long spread of activities to lead up to Easter. And all of it is really meant to kind of shift our eyes onto not only what we're celebrating, but who we are bringing into that story with us. So the very first thing is on Sunday, March 3rd, we are going to have a family prayer walk in the evening. And the idea behind that is to bring all of your kids with you, bring your household with you, bring your friends with you, your roommates, and what we're just going to do a half an hour training at
4:30.
4:30.
It's up on the screen behind us.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not.
It's not, but
There's
it
no screen.
was at the family meeting. So we're going to do just a little training, and then we're going to do the practice of walking around our community. We're going to pray over houses. We're going to pray over stores. We're going to pray over people that come to mind, and just ask God to open our eyes to see things as He sees them.
This is our second year doing a prayer walk, and if you're wondering, do we walk around as a crowd of 150 people? No, we actually just kind of spread out and go in different directions all throughout the community. It's a pretty sweet opportunity to actually look at homes with spiritual eyes. You know, just as you're walking through the streets and seeing maybe things that you see on your normal walk with your dog or whatever, but just being able to pray for those houses and the people that live within them. It's actually kind of a cool experience. So we'd love for you to join us for that.
And then the week before Easter, from Thursday to Friday, from the Thursday before Good Friday, we're going to do an all-church fast. And again, that is to just kind of fix our eyes on the reason for celebrating in the season, and to specifically take time to pray over the people that God has brought into our lives and into our hearts to pray for as they may be considering faith.
There's one of those, for both of these, the prayer walk and the fast and pray, we just see Easter as an opportunity to invite people in that don't have faith, that have not experienced Jesus, that are looking for ways to explore what it means to follow Jesus. And so for us as a church, we want to be praying into that. I want to pray for laborers to enter the harvest. We want to pray for God's Spirit to go and start stirring people up. And so that's why we would be prayer walking, and that's why we'd be fasting and praying for 24 hours together. We're not going to eat anything as a church together for 24 hours, and then we'll come together on Good Friday for a time of communion together, where we break our fast with communion, and then we'll have a big feast and enjoy time together. There will be some worship, and it'll be a great opportunity for us to break a fast and celebrate together on Good Friday.
So a lot of these things, as we lead up to celebrating the resurrection, are meant to just train our minds that we are people who are sent. And we want to look at the world as sent people, ones who carry the good news of Jesus and His presence into this world. But we don't want to do that apart from being dependent on Him. Yeah. So that's where a lot of the prayer and the fasting come from throughout the season. Then
Easter Sunday itself is Sunday, March 31st. We're going to be doing 3 services. I think they're at 8, 9:45, and 11:15. How'd I do? Okay. 11:30. All right.
Close.
Yeah. So, sometimes I'm just winging it when it comes to details. No, the three services, we're really excited just to create a day of opportunity. And that's going to be a huge thing that we ask of our church is to, yes, come and be a part of one of those gatherings, invite your friends, invite your family, make it a part of your day. But we are going to ask those that call Anthem Church home to also contribute in one of those gatherings, serve in Anthem Kids, be on the hospitality team, or just help in some capacity because it's such a different rhythm than normal. We really do need everybody to be contributing and helping as we put on this moment for the community to meet Jesus. So we'd love for all of you to be a part of that Easter, not just in attendance, but actually contributing to how church happens on that Sunday.
When we were at our staff and elder retreat this last month, Ryan brought us to Psalm 23 and had us look at it as how are we shepherds? How is the church shepherds of our community? And verse 5 says, "You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies." And we just that's the heart that we want to bring for Easter, is that we're preparing a table, we're preparing a place for people to come and hear the good news of Jesus. And that's going to be all of us. That's all of us kind of preparing this space to invite our community into to hear the good news.
So that's Easter. And then we go on from Easter. And there's great things that are happening. I know we sent out the calendar and you can take a look at that. There's stuff that happens between Easter and some of the other things we'll be talking about. These 5 things are not the only events of the year, but we wanted to put our attention on each of these.
Yeah. The second thing is something that we're kind of putting on the calendar once again in the life of our church, and we're calling them All-In Sundays. And the desire for these are, if you call Anthem your church home, this is a place that you put on your things that you mark on your calendar and you come be a part of. Want to tell us what we're going to be doing
next? Sorry. So 3 of them throughout the year, May 5th, August 4th, and November 3rd. And they're kind of designed to set a rhythm of us coming together to have a moment around vision with the church, a time of we'll eat a meal together. There's a chance for us to just be a church family together. We'll pray for the church. We'll have times of discussing and even brainstorming how we are carrying out the life of the church together. Each one will center on a theme, and so there will be a sense of kind of equipping together what we're doing to lead this church. Maybe that sounds unfamiliar to you, like, yeah, I'm not really a leader, I'm not really somebody that would be a part of that. That's why we're calling them All-In Sundays. If Anthem Church is your home, we want to encourage the buy-in, the togetherness of what we're here to do. And so there's a sense of if this is your church, then come be all in with us and let's explore these things together.
This comes from a passage in Ephesians chapter 2 that talks about how we are all being built into a house. And that's really what we want. We want to all be building ourselves up together. And that takes time. It takes time to link arms. It takes time to get on the same page. It takes time to kind of be heading in the same direction together. We want to take that intentional time this year to just talk through what it means to be a church together.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. We'll eat meals together with parents and kids and all together, and then we'll leave the kids and go up to the chapel and have some time together to really zero in on what God has for us in this season. So we're really looking forward to those. And just when you hear us talk about All-In Sundays, we want to make sure you know that's what we're talking about, and they are very important to us, that you would be a part of those with us. So we'd like to make those things a reality. That takes us into the summer. We're going to have, we've been talking about it for quite a while, but I'll just tell you in great detail about our Albania time. So we've been walking together with the Genesis Collective for the last 7 years. It's a group of churches that desired to plant and strengthen churches into the nations. And we've been dreaming, working, and building and doing different things for a number of years. And as our team got together, probably around this time last year in South Africa, we started dreaming together about what if we were able to bring all of our churches together for a central gathering of equipping, of worship, some breakouts, some big teaching, time together, meals together, but seeing some of the different nations and people groups and even languages coming together to actually be face-to-face and understand the global story that we're a part of. So we started dreaming and scheming about this and looking into different nations that maybe we could get to that would limit the cost for some of the, honestly, the lower income nations that could try to get to different places where visa limitations were non-existent and things like that. We landed on Albania. There's a hotel in Albania that can host us, and even if we were to fill out the entire hotel, there's a chain of hotels that we could get into. It's an easy country for people to access. It is a Muslim country, but not in such a way that they aren't open to Christian activity happening. So we're not underground. We're actually letting them know that it's a Christian conference, and we've been invited in. And so there's it's a great opportunity for us to come together. So we have presented this to you, Anthem Church, saying, we want you to come to Albania with us. The dates of the actual time in Albania are July 3rd through the 7th, and that's a 5-day time where we'll be together in a hotel. We'll have worship in the morning and evenings with teaching. There will be some breakout sessions and some times where we can actually be together in like intentional time. And then there's the down moments where there's meals and there's some free time and opportunities to kind of just get to know people. Right now, our registrations, we have people from 16 different nations that will be a part of this thing. We are in the process of actually filling up the first block of hotel rooms that we have. So there's a genuine excitement around the world that people are really looking forward to coming together, and we'd like you to be there.
Yeah, and I think the heart behind this is, so many things, but it's building relationally. These are the stories that you hear in the videos that we showed of people around the world. These are friends, and we want you to get to know them, and we want you to get to know the people that are in their churches, because the story isn't anything without relationship. Yeah. And so we want to invite you into those relational spaces. And the second thing is the bigness of the story of God. I think sometimes when we're in our own context and only in our own context, it can seem like things are small or like the story of God isn't progressing or whatever. But to get into that space and to see the huge global nature of the story of God and how he's working in so many places and in so many lives, it's an encouragement to lift our eyes and to see what piece we play in a big global story.
Because of how significant of a cost it is to get out to Albania, for us, flying from LA to Tirana is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 to $1,600 per ticket, just depending on what you can find. We want to maximize the time. Mm-hmm. And so there are a few things that we're kind of adding on to the time to make it something that could be more than just that time, although we think that just that time is enough, and we would love for you to be there for that. There are a couple of opportunities coming out of the time in Albania. So starting on, July 7th, 2 different paths that you could take if you want, and I'll add a third one, but the 2 that we have presented for you. The first is actually a service trip. We have a partner named Stavros that lives in Athens, Greece. He does ministry with refugees in Athens and in Cyprus. And we'll be partnering with his crew in Athens to serve amongst the refugees. So that will be a number of different things, mm-hmm. from potentially like childcare type things and being with kids doing VBS style stuff to packing storehouses. They do a lot of food ministry, food distribution. There are some different things that we will be a part of that week, but it'll be 6 days of ministry, Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll get to worship with the local church in Athens. Mm-hmm. It's not a huge team. We can take up to 12 people, but mm-hmm. we're taking signups or registrations for that now, and would love, if you just have a heart to serve and you would love to work among the refugees. It's a beautiful vision, and we're so excited to partner with Stavros. While we've never gone and done this ministry with him, our friends in Wales, our friends in Dubai, we have a number of churches. Anthem Camarillo, mm-hmm. That's true, yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. We've had a number of churches that have already partnered with Stavros and have done this very trip, and it's a really impactful and powerful time. So that's one thing that we would love to invite you to. Then the second is actually a study tour. So being in Albania, if you look at the map, it's like in the center of so much of like the New Testament biblical activity. And we wanted to take advantage of that. So my parents, Steve and Connie Larson, are doing a study tour of some of the key cities mentioned in the New Testament in Greece. So Thessalonica, Philippi, Athens, Corinth. There's another one called Kavala. I think that's actually modern day Caesarea. So there or Centre, that's what it is. There's a number of places that the crew will be going, study the New Testament, be able to actually look at some of these sites. It's going to be an incredible time. So both of those have costs attached, but if you're interested, we'll make all of the QR codes available and you can find out more information on Athens or Greece study tour. Oh, there was a third.
There was a third.
This vacation.
Okay.
Honestly, Chris was challenging us. Chris Vinod, who's kind of leads the Genesis Collective, was just saying, like, I would love for people to come to Albania and not to feel weird about then just taking European vacation time, just going and visiting some of the countries and being a part of the landscape of Europe, and even just, kind of praying your way through the nations and seeing what God has out there. So all that to say, we just would love for you to maximize the time as you come out and be a part of any of those and enjoy the fullness of that time.
So that is one huge opportunity this summer, but we also have quite a few other things going on during the summer. Traditionally, we take a break from our community groups during that season, and so there's just time for some other ways to invest and be a community together. So that whole thing is one. We also have, you heard this week, if you were here at church this last Sunday, about an opportunity to go serve with Yugo down in Mexico, building houses. And that is an incredible service opportunity as well that a few guys from our church are organizing to build 2 houses. The dates for that are, I'm looking for them, June 23rd through the 28th. And we would love to get you connected with either Willie Samoff or Doug Graham to sign up for that if that is something that you are interested in as well. Our middle school and high school students both have camps, and those are great opportunities for our students to get connected more with each other, with the leaders of our student ministries, and to fix their eyes on Jesus and kind of see what it looks like in their world to follow him. Those dates are also, the middle schoolers are in July, the high schoolers are in August, but we'll have all of that information for you to look at. And then we traditionally in the summer also do for 2 things for our kids. One is our summer kids camp, which is going to be super fun. And we know that's going to be a blast for all of our kids and for people who want to serve in that as well, just to pour into our kids' lives and again, create community in our students and then, or in our children. And then followed with that, we're going to do a young disciples class, which just is foundations of the faith for our kids.
For 4th and 5th graders specifically.
Yes.
So, yeah. So we just would love for you guys to, by the way, for all of the details of everything that we're talking about, just use the app. I know we've said it so many times on Sunday morning, you're probably tired of hearing it, but we just want to make sure you know that it really is the central landing spot for all of the details for all of these things. So explore the app.
Yeah, we usually don't have so many things extra going on, but the summer is a time that we feel like we can actually pour into a lot of different avenues of connection and development as we move together as a church.
Last thing we wanted to take some time and share with you is that this year we're celebrating our 15th anniversary as a church, which we're really excited about. That's a fun milestone just to hit those kind of blocks of time and look at life through the different eras of being a church. It's going to happen in October. And if you've been with Anthem for any length of time, you know that we celebrate our anniversary, our birthday, by doing this Celebrate Generosity. And so we can't wait for that. We'll be talking with you guys a ton about generosity and what that means for us as a church and how you can be contributing to our global partners and our local partners and our reproducing church partners. We really are looking forward to that. But we want to do something a little bit different this year. Celebrate Generosity happens on a Sunday. And we've done something in the past that we've called the Anthem Summit. It's like an in-house Anthem conference where we do a Friday night with worship and teaching. We do all day Saturday with breakouts and teaching and some worship opportunities. And it's, if you've ever been to a conference before, it's literally a conference where we get together for an intense, focused time of equipping and discipleship. And we want to do that on the same weekend to Celebrate Generosity. So the whole thing will be happening in October. I believe, if off the top of my head, I think it's 11, 12, 13 or something like that. The Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we're really excited about it. But here's the thing, is that conference is essentially Anthem Church building up Anthem Church.
Yeah.
So we'll be coming up with some different topics. There will be people from within the body that actually contribute to that. If you were with us on Sunday, Andrew and Lauren Fry shared about this Art of Neighboring class that they're going to be doing, and how that came out of their experience of sitting at Anthem Summit and hearing somebody else talk about their passion for being neighbors and using that to advance the gospel. And so it really is a very stirring time, and we're looking forward to that. So I wanted to plant that seed long in advance for you to save that weekend, because it really will be a whole weekend of activity from Friday through Sunday.
We're really excited just about how God is stirring us up. And we want to be the kind of people that are ready for whatever he has in the future, for whatever he calls us to do, for wherever he calls us. And we want to spend this year just developing ourselves in our dependence on him, in our devotion to him, in really being able to stir one another up towards love and good deeds. Sometimes that gets uncomfortable, but it's good.
Yeah.
And to be built up and encouraged to be the people who carry his name, who are sent into our community and into the world with the good news of the gospel. So hopefully you can see how these things fit into that. And I'm sure there will be more as the year goes on, but we wanted to share those things with you in a little more detail than we got to a couple weeks ago.
So even as you're sitting there watching this video, I'd encourage you to be opening up the Church Center app and spending time getting the details of the things that intrigued you, but also just be presenting your year to the Lord. We think it's a great year to grow in Jesus. I know we always think it's a great year to grow in Jesus, but we really think it's a great year to grow in Jesus. And we'd love to encourage you just to be praying, Lord, what would you have for me to step into this year? Even if it takes a pretty significant amount of faith and discomfort, it's a good growth opportunity. So thank you guys for being with us. Thanks for watching. And we look forward to seeing you in person, not on video, but have a great day.